Do you have a favorite deck that you like that I use?
Ooh, I don't know how to pronounce it.
What does it look like? Do you think you can let me know which one it is?
I don't know how to say it. Maraha, Harata, or
Mahabharata. The Mahabharata.
yes, you're
Perfect.
right.
Okay.
I thought it did.
Okay. The
Oh, and
Mahabharata.
the P and Q.
The P and Q. Love. All right. All right. So let's get something for you from the P and Q. What do we have for you? Let's start there. Okay. Interesting. It says P and Q Grandma Skip Boat. It says, sit down and let's play a game. What happens when you play a game? You get to meet somebody at the table. You get to learn about their personality. You get to spend time talking to them. It's P and Q and Grandma Escape both. So there's more than one. Where two or more are gathered in my name, and I'll be there too. Okay. All right. Let's see what we have for you. We're gonna do your birth chart reading. So, whew, you ready? Cause we're about to get it in. All right. Your sun is in Sagittarius. Your rising is in a Gemini. You have a lot in Sagittarius and Capricorn and Aquarius. Capricorn, I love the way my friend put it. I am the beginning and the end. I am the Alpha and the Omega. Because he's a Capricorn. But in reality, it's like Aries starts the new zodiac year, but Capricorn does start the new calendar year. So there's definitely something here in your message about that. The beginning and the end. Sagittarius talks about all about expansion, and Aquarius is about a fresh start, a new beginning. It's a reset. So, all right, we're going to be pulling for each of the 12 houses. So, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, Virgo, Leo, Cancer, Gemini, Taurus, Aries, Pisces, Aquarius, and Capricorn. All right. Whew. The bottom of the deck is preconditions. One of the major life lessons I heard that you had to figure out was preconditions, okay? They're saying this is a past life. I'm getting that as South Node energy, honestly. The way that's coming through is South Node energy, which is this is your comfort zone. Like you've learned how to have some sort of boundaries, okay, in some sort of way. South knows since you've done this. Whether if you haven't done it in this life, you'll be able to do it. Don't worry, you got this because it's in your past life energy. Yeah, it's in your past life energy. Like you've done this before.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, the preconditions thing, the boundaries thing, you actually mastered that before. That's why it's coming out at the bottom of the deck. It's coming out like a South Node energy. Okay. So your sun is in Sagittarius. Also, we have the moon there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I resonate with like the sixth house energy a lot.
Sixth house energy a lot?
Yeah.
So sixth house has a lot to do with being very analyzing, like taking information in, processing it, digesting it, also putting things to work, taking action on things, okay, finding yourself to be very useful, very service oriented. Mm-hmm. And in this, you have the victory card. Interesting. So that's beautiful. You resonate highly with it, and it wants to let you know, like you accomplished something. You have victory in this. Okay, you're winning in this.
I know exactly what they're talking about.
You're winning in this. It's card number 11, and it's like, what I'm seeing with that is this victory is going to carry you far. This victory is going to carry you far. Sun in Sagittarius. Okay, let's see what else wants to come out here. Hold on. If I could pick up the cards. Okay. I'm busy looking at the birth chart. Okay. 6 of Cups. Oh, wow, that's weird. It's not the 6 of Cups, and I know that damn well. It's the 7 of Cups, and it's in reverse, and they're saying, no, it's the 6 of Cups. Interesting. So the 7 of Cups card comes out reversed, and it's speaking to me saying 6 of Cups, which I've seen happen in a reading before, not as profoundly as it did just now. So it's like, okay, then the next card comes out, and we're looking at the 6 of Wands, and it's saying to me, okay. So it's like so much options was open because you went back and you looked at the history of something, that when you look back at how you dealt with something in the past, how you emotionally responded to something in the past, and how that affected your life, being aware of that gave you mastery over that response. So now you know not to do that, because that's going to take me this place, and I'd rather go this place. And because of that, you're winning. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Then we have the 10 of Pentacles coming out with the Knight of Cups. And it's like, this gives you a feeling of knowing that you overcome all this, gives you this strong feeling of, it's like when people recognize how you are and they acknowledge your positive traits, you feel so fucking good and you're ready to go, man. And because it confirms what you know about yourself. You know that you're doing the best. You know you're doing the best for you. You know what I'm saying? You're doing amazing, and you have a lot to be grateful and proud of yourself for. That you've accomplished some real things. Is it in regards to family stuff? It looks like yeah. I see, yeah. A lot of overcoming family stuff. Do you feel like you closed out a lot of family karmic cycles?
Oh
yeah. Okay.
Sometimes I was chosen to close out a lot of cycles.
I'm hearing you did a really good job in that. So in your rising in your ascendant in the first house, we have Gemini, and it says gratitude. So there's something here about being very aware of like the power of your ability to choose for yourself, okay? And moving forward, taking leadership in your life. And in this, there's so much to be grateful for. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse coming out with the Tower. They said there was a time where you really didn't know what self-love was, and you got a hard knock upside the head is the way it's coming through. You got a hard knock upside the head to realize, like, no, you deserve better. Okay, Page of Cups coming out with the Ace of Swords in reverse. And so you have to start looking at yourself going way back. Where did I get this lie from? Where did I adopt this lie? Where did I adopt this lie about myself and about my truth, okay? Where did I adopt this lie into my experience and own this as my own? Because I saw it somewhere, and it wasn't true about me. And so that's where a lot of this lack of self-love that you had in the past came through. But now you're like, I'm glad I finally figured that out, because if I wouldn't have figured that out, I wouldn't have been able to do nothing about it. is what I'm seeing. And that's why gratitude comes up here, because awareness is everything. Like, if you don't know something exists, there's not really much to be done about it, if there's anything to be done at all. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Resonates very hard.
Okay. All right. So let's see. You don't have any positions in your second house, but the second house has to do a lot with, like, once you go outside of yourself into the other aspects of your life, like how you live with others, the things that you have, including like your work, your income, the things that you do every day and stuff like that. You have infinity here. Okay. Card number 34, infinity. It's like, I see you're very, very versatile. Like, you could do a lot of different things and enjoy yourself, okay? I see with this Four of Cups in reverse, you always accept an opportunity to try something that you never thought about before, that was outside of your awareness, to try new experiences. The way it's coming through, you're open to try new experiences. It makes you nervous with the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands, but I see you fight through that and you go through anyways. But there's also something here about, sometimes you feel like everything is such a struggle and you feel rejected, okay? You feel this energy of rejection, and it could be in regards to like losing property or having things stolen from you, or feeling insecure about what you have and the safety of it. Like, if you were robbed or something was stolen, they keep coming out with different ways to say thievery. If there was some fucking thievery going on, like there's some sort of imprint there that keeps replaying itself, that causes a cross current vibration for you, that could be in regards to finances, or again, your safety and your security, the security of your belongings, the things that are not you but right outside of you. So your job, your home, your vehicles, your accounts, etc. Like, this is something that could come up if you feel like you had anybody do anything against your accounts. But here's the thing, like, you don't have to accept that if that's the case for you. I'm not sure. I want you to tell me how this resonates, because they're saying you don't have to accept that. Anywhere where you feel that, like, you don't have to accept that. You could put it into that cycle just by choosing not to go into it. That Four of Cups in reverse, you're choosing not to accept something, and you're choosing to accept something that feels better than what you had already. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
So, in regards to career and friendships, sometimes, yep, definitely with friendships and the things that you have. Like, you could be going through your closet with this, saying, I don't want this, I don't want that, I'm going to give that away. Okay, this I have to have, but I'm going to put it away. I don't want it right here in my face. There's like this sorting energy that I'm seeing, if that makes better sense. Let me refine it. Hopefully that makes it simpler.
Yes, it makes sense.
Putting things in place of, I thank you. They said reprioritizing. Reprioritizing. Okay. It just seems like in this cleanup work that you're doing, it helps you figure out what you are holding on to. And it seems to be carrying like a bunch of stuff that's really like outside struggles and dramas. It doesn't feel like it's yours. It feels like you get yourself in the middle of stuff that don't really belong to you. With like people who you care about because of this, or situations you care about because of that. Like, for example, we all care about our jobs, so I might get myself involved in some shit that comes down to my business. But there's something here that matters, and you get in the middle of it and you jump into that, and you trust that the infinity has got your back. You go into it like a swan dive all the way in. You're like, oh no, we're going to solve this for once and for all. And it has to do with clearing that energy, okay, about deception and lies. And I'm hearing maledictions about stuff from the pass from anybody that has some kind of ill will intention, and anywhere where you were holding it yourself and even didn't realize that you were, it comes highlighted for you. That's interesting. So we're talking about the second house with money and work and income. Okay. And in your chart, if I'm looking at this correctly, it looks like you have Cancer there. What I heard was, once you crack it open, oh, it's real gooey. That's all you got to know. Once you crack it open, it's real gooey. So it's like a tough nut to crack. But once you crack it open, oh, it's real gooey. So just be persistent. That completely made sense to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I felt that, like you got that. All right, and Leo, look, this is your superpower. And you have this on the third house, which talks about the way you reach out into the world. It could talk about social settings and like your siblings and cousins and stuff, the friends that you hang out, your social circles, the community. 3 is the house of community stuff, okay? And you have superpower, and it's a 30, so it's like times 10. So it's like you have this interesting. It's like you have this.
It's like an 8 on there.
Huh?
On my chart, on Astro charts, it's like an X on the 3.
A X on the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And it looks like that's, hold on, what planet is that? Is that Neptune? Hold on, let me see if I see that thing. Oh my gosh, I wish I could remember them all. It's Saturn. Okay, Saturn in Aries with the rising in Chiron, and there's a conjunction there. So that 3 that you're looking at, is it talking about it being a superpower? I would say yeah, because it's a 3 times 10, and you just said there's an X there, and I'm looking at it and I see it, right? And then we have 3 times 10 equals 30, and the superpower card is number 30.
Oh, wait. I love it. Oh my God.
So that's why I hear, that's why, oh wait, that was interesting, wasn't it? I love. So there's something about like, to become this, everything you have to go through, it ain't no joke. First off, it ain't no joke, okay? It's some real deal Holyfield stuff to get this kind of muscle. You know what I'm saying? Because when we see this card, it's like, okay, this dude doesn't just sit around. He's busy. And when he's not busy, he's probably lifting something repetitively. The Magician and the Devil. Oh boy. You know, one of the things that comes through with this, first off, this is about, so I hear people look at you and they feel like you have an unfair advantage. You have an unfair advantage. You got magic. You got powers of persuasion. You have abilities. You have skills. You have talents, right? But here's the thing. You do have it. They ain't lying. You have it. And you got a lot of it. And it triggers the fuck out of them. Because you do. And you know what? There ain't nothing you could do but mind your business with this 6 of Swords and 8 of Pentacles. Keep pushing on, honey. Handle your business. Put all those talents and skills and abilities to work and let that shit pay you. Okay, hold on. I also see, like, sometimes in your friendship circle and with siblings and stuff, you tend to sometimes instigate the fuck out of people. And you don't do it by trying. You just do it by being. Like, your choice, the way you are, the way you sit in there, the way you interact or the way you don't interact. It's like, if you're loud, now you're too loud. If you're quiet, now you don't talk. Like, you fucking triggering people because of just doing whatever the fuck you just happen to be doing at the time, okay? But you mind your business and you don't let none of that faze you. I see that about you too. This is a superpower of yours. Does that vibe with you? Do you kind of just like let shit slide unless there's a real reason to like defend yourself you're not sitting there being nobody's punching bag, but you're like, I don't even care. Whatever you're talking, don't even, like, listen, I don't even hear you. I don't even see you right now. It's easier to do that. I heard. I don't know. What do you have to say about that?
That's me.
That's you?
Yes, and I'm not quiet. I'm just listening. It's me. Like, I do this. It's my superpower, I guess. Like, all my life, well, in grade school, heavily, I was a bully. And so I just learned to, I don't know, just let it roll off. I developed thick skin. So that goes back to, like, the second house. I guess. I don't know.
Wow. So you've been a bully and you just let it roll off your back. Is that what I just heard you say? Did I hear you right? You've been bullied and you just let it roll off your back?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, your superpower is when you do that and you don't flash out on them and all this other stuff and become the bully, then there's something about they meet with exactly something that is more potent. I'm hearing more potent, more effective. Thank you. More effective. That's what I want to hear. That's what they want me to hear. That's what is supposed to be said. More effective than what you could come up with. Because you're coming up with a solution when you try to come up with some solution and it ain't exactly what's needed. Your biggest solution is to go about your business, live your best life, let them be mad. You're going to be mad anyways, right? Okay, I ain't doing nothing wrong to you, right? I ain't fuck with you. Okay, you don't want to fuck with me. Okay, cool. And I'm out. Okay? Can put the blame on me if you got it twice. This type of, so there's something here about, like I say, you because you're like so trying to make peace, trying to move forward. You ain't trying to mess around. You ain't all that, and that fucking triggers people. They would almost rather you fight with them than just leave shit at peace. Does that make sense?
Yes, and it's so irritating to me and my spirit. Like, please get.
It's irritating to your spirit, I hear, because your spirit is not yet. No, your spirit understands fully. It's irritating to your spirit because your spirit is perfectly delightful about it. It's your consciousness that's not delighted with it and can't see why the spirit is delighted with it. That's why there's a contrasting feeling of irritation, as you just called it. Because your spirit knows that, oh, they're being triggered. That means they're becoming aware of their self in relation to what we are, and then we're all one, and so we all have to accept what we are in some type of way, which is a real challenge, and it takes a person through a lot of journeys here. So there's something here about that too. Interesting, the way that just come through. So it irritates your spirit because somewhere in you it's not settled in peace with you and the all that you are, the higher self, the highest version of the self, the divine mind of you that you are. That's why it feels like an irritant, because everything is love, and if it doesn't feel like love, then it feels in resistance to love, and that's what irritation feels like. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So this feels not so nice. What is the divine perspective of this? Is it something that is teaching me about my value and worth? Is it something? What is it teaching me? Is it teaching me about my value and my worth, the way I utilize my time, the choices that I make? Is it teaching me about the company that I keep? Is it teaching me that, I get nervous and I want to cut and run from stuff that I don't need to cut and run from? Or is it teaching me like this is unhealthy and this is a detriment to my physical well-being, so don't do it? Learning to identify all of that, that's what turns into your superpower. That's what your superpower lies in. Does that make sense?
Focus.
Yeah, focus is very important. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's see. We're going to go into your 4th house with the gift is the card that came out. Now let me look back at your chart again. You have Virgo with the North Node in Virgo.
Little Virgo.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Virgo in the 4th house. I'm getting like picky about love, picky about lovers, picky about the way you have your house, your closet, your drawers. It's like you're very picky about how you organize things, very selective about what you choose. There can be very much a tendency to hold on to things even after you should let them go, is something that I'm hearing. Does that resonate?
Yes.
Okay. All right. From the Tarot, we have the Emperor and the World coming out. And then we have the 8 of Wands with the 4 of Wands. 8 of Wands is a lot happening at once. The 4 of Wands is cutting that 8 of Wands in half. And because the 4 of Wands is on top of the Emperor and the 8 of Wands is on top of the World, they're like, loosen up a little bit.
Okay.
If you do it 7 days a week, and it's not going to kill you not to do it 3 days a week, then start doing it 4 days a week. What does that mean? I don't know. Some around the house.
Take a break.
Huh?
I said take a break.
Take a break? Yeah, okay. So 4 days a week, be busy, instead of 8 days a week, because there ain't no 8 days a week. So cut it in half, and can we come back to 4? Can we compromise? In other words, it's like the universe is saying compromise.
Okay.
They said treat yourself before you cheat yourself of your days.
I'm laughing because Capricorn, the 10th house is right across, and I have heavy Capricorn energy.
Well, Capricorn is in the 8th house. Yeah, the 8th house. 8th house. 7th house. No, 7th house. Excuse me. In the 7th house. The one that will be across will be in the 10th house, and that's Pisces. So Pisces, Capricorn is, Capricorn in the 7th house, this is a good house for partnership. That says that you will do whatever about your partnership. Whatever needs to be done, you're going to take care of it for your partnership. Like, if you can handle it, like you are the type of partner that don't quit, you're consistent, like that's what it's showing me there with that right now.
I like that.
Yeah. But in regards to like your home stuff, it's like everything is fine. You got it under control. With the Emperor card, it's like you got it under control. Calm down. I get calm the fuck down. It's all under control. Just calm down. And oh my God. Are you there? And it looks like, especially in regards to, hold on, let me fix this so I don't get, okay, there. especially in regards to like keeping yourself real busy around the house. You're doing it 8 days a week, which means you're doing it twice one day at least. Maybe overnight. I get maybe overnight. And that's all right. And then now it's like, calm down. You don't have to do it 4 times a week.
Okay.
Okay, this is weird. Okay. It's only weird though because I'm like, what the heck? It sounds so specific, which makes sense because it's your personal thing, right? But at the same time, it's like, what are you talking about? Why aren't you just popping this image in my head and showing me exactly what the fuck? Why you gotta be all cryptic and shit? Okay. Then we have the card Love in the 5th position. And the 5th house is Libra energy. So, 5th house energy has to do with love affairs and romances and fertility and just adventures and living your best life and getting out there and having a ball. And you have love, which tells me like you love to love. You're a freaking lover, not a fighter, like we were talking about earlier in the other position. And look at you, Sagittarius in reverse. You're like, hold on, a lover, not a fighter. What? Hold on, now I am, but I didn't used to be? What? What the heck? Why are you laughing?
No, I laugh when I get like happy.
Yeah, it says lover, not a fighter. Okay, let's see. And then it's like, but I am, but...
I'm laughing like out of joy.
And then it says the Empress in reverse and the Lovers. Oh, boy. So it's like you haven't found something outside of you to nurture or to be nurtured by. But you know that it's coming. You know that it's yours. It's just a matter of time, you feel like. With the Temperance in reverse. You can sense it. But you not. And then the Lovers is Gemini energy. So in this position here, I have Gemini, Taurus, Libra, and Sagittarius energy there. So those zodiac signs are significant. Where do you have these? Hold on a second. Let me just look at your birth chart. I got it right here. So Libra is your 5th house, and we were talking about your 5th house, so that's perfect. And then we said Taurus. Where's Taurus at in your chart? Oh, that's the 12th house. That's your undoing. That's it. Okay, Taurus, that's it. End of the line. No, I'm just kidding. Sagittarius is where your sun is, and that's also here. And also, the moon is there, which is showing me your new moon energy from your birth. So, here's this thing. In love, you're very freaking transparent. Okay? And you're always like paying attention to the signs. If love is going to be love for you, you got to feel drawn spiritually to it. It feels like. That's what I see. And it feels like I'm being a romantic. Are you a romantic? Do you consider yourself to be a romantic? Because it feels like you do.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That energy is coming through here. Like you're very romantic, okay? And you just believe that your right partner that's there for you is coming, and you know you're fucking right, and can't nobody tell you nothing else, is the way it looks like right now. That's what I see. And that's in your birth chart, like to be that way. You ready. You're like, when my partner show up, I'm gonna be ready. I'm ready. It feels like that. Like you're ready. And you believe in it. And so you try. I see that also in this, sometimes you try, but it doesn't always turn out the way you think it was. Otherwise you would already not, like, you wouldn't be You wouldn't be single. Hello. Plain and simple. But you are because it hasn't worked out that way yet. But it doesn't change that your heart is open. I'm seeing that your heart is open here. You come in with the open heart in this. Okay. Whew. So, the next position we have. The card comes out self-study. And this is Scorpio on the 6th house. And the 6th house talks about the way you come out into the community with your services. Okay, it's self-study. It's like this is like, y'all better be happy that I know myself. You better be happy that that I can handle my triggers, or I might fuck you up. Type of energy. This is like, you better be happy that I learned how to control my behaviors and all of that. Like, I know me, and if I didn't, you guys would be in trouble because I'm not nothing nice before I knew me. But I know me, and so you're constantly like looking at the world around you. Okay, so they're saying be careful of comparisons. Like, there's no need to compare. You are what you are, and it's good enough. And that's constantly evolving as it's good enough, as it's perfect. The perfection just continues to expand. And they're showing me your Sagittarius energy, the energy of expansion and growth. This is a good thing that you keep yourself real busy and you have a great metabolism because you're going to expand one way or another, and be happy yours isn't around the middle. Because a lot of Sagittarius are saying if they don't tend to expand their consciousness, they'll tend to expand their middle. Okay. The 5 of Cups upright with the 3 of Cups upright. The 9 of Wands and the Judgment card upright. Okay, the bottom of the deck right now, I haven't been showing the bottom of the deck, but they want me to show 9 of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck right now. Okay, because we're talking about how you present yourself out into the world and what you've got to bring to the world, how you're of service to humanity and stuff. Like, hey, we're grateful that KK breathed there because this is what KK brought to the table. And it's like what you brought to the table was figuring your own shit out. So when you came to meet with your people, with your peer group, with this 3 of Cups, with your folks, when you come to meet with your folks, you do what you do and you do it with no regrets. You stand in your position with that 9 of Wands. You stand in your position like you've been through some things. You understand yourself. So when you make a decision on what you're going to do, you stand your ground. You ain't got no qualms about it. You ain't got no problems about it. You ain't got nothing to hide about it. You're going to stand firm in your position. Don't tell me that I didn't do what I didn't do. Or don't tell me that I did what I didn't do. And don't tell me I didn't do what I did do. Because I'm going to let you know either way today. It comes out a lot like that. And it also comes out a lot like being around your different social groups. Through the connections that you have with other people, you've been able to like learn for yourself. Okay, so a lot of times I pick up that you can learn from observation from the world around you. Do you feel like that's something that you've been able to do? Are you hard-headed? Do you have to learn by experience too?
Kind of both.
Yeah. Well, right here.
From others, though.
Huh?
That's a heavy on the from others, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense because with the 9 of Wands, that's Chiron, the wounded healer, and that's the one where you learn from the school of hard knocks, honey. The 9 of Wands, that's what we could call it. The school of hard knocks is the 9 of Wands. She's going to go to the school of hard knocks. The 5 of Cups today is looking for you like, I heard your sad love song. I ain't trying to hear that. So I'm going to go this other direction over here. In both cases, that's what it looks like. So I can see both happening, and like your peer group is important in that way. They're gonna take you down. I heard they're gonna take you down to Devil's Hill, or they're gonna talk to you about it, so you know that you don't want to ride that motherfucker with no brakes. You want to make sure your brakes is good if you're going down Devil's Hill. Did that make sense? So I'm talking about Devil's Hill. When I grew up, where I grew up in my neighborhood, there was this hill called Devil's Hill, and it was pretty steep. And it was just like this little sunken area, And we would ride our bikes, and it was nice because it was a steep ass hill, and you could ride down it and then just fucking roll. But there was nothing at the bottom except for like a few farms, and that was it in the middle of the city. Just a few farms, and then when it would rain, it'd be like little tab holes and stuff like that. It was nothing but one road you could ride down, then coming up that bitch was never fun because it was a steep ass hill. So you could they could take you down Devil's Hill, but you can't go down Devil's Hill without no brakes. So it could be a fun ride, but you better know what your boundaries are. You better know when to hold on, when to slow down, when to stop. You know what I'm saying? When to hit the brakes. When, oh, you know what? I'm not going down there today because it's a snowy day. There's snow on the road. I'm not going down Devil's Hill in the snow. If you lost your fucking mind. You know, there's a time and a place for everything, I heard. There's a time and a place to take a risk. There's something here about friendships with that. And you've learned the lesson the hard way. You've learned it from observing from the people around you, and you're learning from, the ones that you decide to jump all in with. Okay. Ooh-wee. So, next up, we're going to talk about the seventh house, which has to do with big time commitment, like marriages and all of that stuff. Commitments, business contracts. In Sagittarius, and you have victory there. And we had already pulled your cards here for you. The Seven of Cups, the Six of Wands, and then the Ten of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups.
Oh, shoot.
The Knight of Cups is bringing you everything you want. Stay focused. Don't get caught up in distractions. Don't get caught up in distractions because victory is at hand for you. In regards to this type of relationships, I'm also seeing that you had a lot of experiences where it wasn't just what you thought it was with the Seven of Cups in reverse. Your emotions, you almost felt cheated by your feelings. Like, why were my feelings so attracted to you? And it wasn't like that. And at the end of the day, you had to walk away. And it's like your feelings had cheated you. But there's something here about now you got this understanding over all that difficulty. You're seeing things clearly, no more confusion. And this is helping you to understand yourself better and let things come to you. Okay, let it show up for you. Because it's coming into your experience and you know it, but hold on, it's all I'm seeing a reflection with the Nine of Cups is looking like a mirror right now, and the Ten of Pentacles, it's a reflection of you inside. Like, no matter what anybody says outside, no matter about external anything, you know that you have everything you need in you. You trust in how you were created. You trust in your spirit self, in your physical appearance, abilities, wisdom, your intellect, and you trust in your resources. And it's like this is good for you in relationships. Like, this helps you come to the table a whole person in relationships. So you have what it takes to win. And it's not about another person. It's about you. You have, this sounds so freaking cheesy. I'm hearing the winning attitude. You get the winning attitude, and why does that sound so cheesy? Because love isn't about winning or losing. It's about how you come to the table. You come into the table whole. You're coming in confident in who and what you are, not hidden by illusions. And in your experience, this is what you're attracting. Somebody who is whole, somebody who is confident in their own self, somebody who is not caught up in illusions about their self. They really know what they've done. They've accomplished some things. They know their self. They know their spirit. They don't need somebody to entertain them. They're not looking for somebody to take up their time. They're looking for somebody, I heard, to stimulate their mind, okay, and their spirit, okay? That's what kind of person that entices you. That's your ideal partner. Not what I see.
Sapiosexual.
Yep, there's a word for it. Sapiosexual, yep. All right. Ooh-wee. Anything else you want to say about this position right here? There's a song where I can't catch the beat of it. It's like, you got it. I keep getting, you got it. And I can halfway hear the tone now. It's like, is it Chris Brown type of stuff? I don't know. It's R&B. And it says, you got it. Okay. Yeah, I think so.
No, got it.
Sing it.
You got it, girl. You got it.
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah. Girl, you got it, girl. You got it. Yep. You got it, girl. You got it. Yep, that's the one. Thank you. I heard cheers. Cheers. As I drink my iced tea. All right. 8th house. Capricorn. You have Venus in Capricorn? Am I reading this right?
My Venus, Mars, and Neptune.
All in Capricorn. Well,
What is that?
I heard if you didn't know you were destined for wealth, you'll know now. Look at this. The ambition card comes out in this position. Go for it. Capricorn energy is all about going where no goat has gone before. Like when no other forest animal dares to go, the goat is going to go there and stand there and smile at you. And
my business too, the goat.
Yeah, the goat. Yeah, Ken the goat. That's right. Yes.
This right.
Yeah, so definitely there's prosperity in that, especially because you took that ambition and you're acting on it. Keep feeding it positive energy. Talking about it, letting folks know. There's showing me a conversation I had recently. I decided to go to a bar across the street one night and was talking to the girls, of course, but it's like, hey, are you in love with your nail lady? And she was like, well, my nail lady, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, let me see your nails, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, I'm all about networking and stuff. So the guy pulls out his card and he's like, her dude, and he's like, I wish I was like you, more outspoken and bold and put it out there. I'm like, well, if you ain't busy blowing your horn, ain't nobody else gonna blow your horn for you, because they ain't gonna know you got a horn to be blown, baby. You gotta blow it. Let them know what you do. Come out and show it. And there's that energy here for you. Yeah. So if they don't know that you're an entrepreneur, you're missing your number one supporter, and that's you and your own voice. You gotta be bold, put it out there. Hey, I got these shirts for sale, I got this available, blah blah blah, whoop de whoop, what can I do for you? Ooh.
Yeah.
Because if anybody's gonna believe in you, you gotta believe in yourself first. And if you cared in it enough to invest in it, then you can care in it enough to freaking talk about it and let folks know what time it is.
Right.
All right. And the 9th house, you have Aquarius, which is about, and you got a bunch of stuff. I see your midheaven there. I see Jupiter there. What's that other planet? Is that Pluto?
This. No, I have Pluto in the 6th house.
Well, I see the midheaven and I see Jupiter there. Hold on. Uranus. It's freaking Uranus.
Yeah, this.
Uranus and Jupiter and your midheaven all in Aquarius. In the ninth house. The ninth house is all about philosophy, higher learning, fucking esoterics, and they're just showing me the Hermit card, like all of that. Okay, and then of course, with yours being in Aquarius, it's like the new age of Aquarius and grounding that energy. What oracle cards do we have here? Fucking power. OMFG. ROFL. I was waiting. I was like, did she catch that? Okay. Power. In the Aquarius. I love. So, you've got this, I'm hearing, uncanny ability to start fresh, to bring energy, a new approach, a new mentality, fresh air to the game. Okay, you can do this. What the heck is all that? We ain't doing all that. You're doing too damn much. Okay, I'll take the one fucking card. Thanks. You'll see it. A whole bunch of cards just fell. All right, but for your position, we're taking these. Queen of Wands. Listen, with the Queen of Wands on top of power in the ninth house, honey, work your magic. Okay, the Knight of Wands, it's like, you can't help but to. You can't help but to use your power, your magic. Okay, you keep that shit secret. You don't let everybody know what you can do. You don't let them know what you be thinking about. As long as you remember that what you put out comes back to you multiplied and you ain't scared to get it back, then go ahead, dish it out all you want. You know, and that's that energy there, because this is your power place. You can start shit brand new. You know, you could be people's number one good luck charm depending on the thoughts and vibration you hold about them.
You're right.
You can make shit happen in lives. If you can hold something or someone in your experience, like you have a power, like, so let's say you don't have the money to make it happen type of shit, right? But because you holding that person in focus and your intention is for them to get all their needs met, and you're doing this because of love, not for greed, not for self-servingness, but to be, because you fucking care, because like we're all one, and like this person is really a good person. They deserve to have their shit work out for them. And so you hold that. So then you ain't even got to take action, but just because you can hold that vibration, that focal point, you make it happen. And then it shows up with this other card that was sitting over here that fell out. The Page of Pentacles. You make it happen by focusing there. You don't have to know how it shows up. It's like, oh my God, I wish I would fix this freaking highway already, because it's all warped right there. When you're going over Las Vegas Boulevard on the 95, that motherfucker be feeling like you're on a roller coaster ride and shit, which is kind of fun when you're a kid. But when you're grown and you know that means that the road is fucking sagging right here, like, can y'all tighten up your fucking belt on this shit? Do something, because this is a road. It's not supposed to be sagging. And there's something here about tightening up the belt on how it's coming in, how you're doing it real stable. Okay, tightening up the belt, making the road more smoother. Okay, so it won't fall apart and break, and the whole fucking dream won't crash down like a car falling through the 95. Instead, it will keep riding nice and smooth because they fix it. Okay, because you fix it. And so what is this fixing it? The fixing is smoothing out the vibration by, okay, so I don't know exactly how everything is going to happen, but I know what matters to me. I know what social causes I want to support. So I lend positive energy and support to those social causes, to the philanthropic pursuits that I have, to higher learning, through understanding my deeper self, my deepest self, my truest self, and to bringing that awareness of my intuition and my inner knowing into this experience on a whole level. And I'm able to see that and follow through with it. And there's something here about that unlocking some superpowers within you, following your intuition in these things and what you're going to invest, not only your focus, because your focus makes it grow, it makes it thrive. It's like magic. Things start happening in these ones' lives because you focus on it. You can see it for them. It matters to you. It's interesting the way the cards are talking to me right now. And it's like it matters to you. So your positive point of focus has so much power. And it's not just about you. So the more you bring into the success of your endeavor, the success of everyone else's endeavor that's attached to it, the more pure positive energy that exists for it, okay, that it's like streamlining the process. Does that make sense? That was a lot. I feel like I need to take a breath. Like, that was a lot that just came through in that, I feel like. Ninth house. This is your power. So, I hear there's been a lot of people who have tried to make you question your intuitive knowing and the impulses that you get from spirit. I heard, but you know what it is. And at the end of the day, it's your knowing that bears more weight than their thinking. Your knowing versus their thinking, I heard hands down, there's no match, no comparison, different. Okay. They're saying go ahead and move on to Pisces in your birth chart with the 10th house energy, talking about your career, the way you earn your income and your long-term success and the goals and the plans and all this stuff. Well, honey, you have expertise coming out. OMG. And you have Pisces here. I get with this, before I pull the cards on it, I see that you're like very versatile. You could go from the boardroom to the classroom to the ballroom to the players ball if you had to, is what it's coming out. Okay, 6 of Cups. Hierophant in reverse, the 7 of Wands, and the 4 of Pentacles. The expertise is showing up here about you being able to go into any experience, okay? Because there's something here about with this Hierophant in reverse with the 6 of Cups in reverse combined. Those two together are telling me like you broke taboo already. You don't feel confined by traditional beliefs and the way your parents tried to teach you and raise you and stuff like that so much. But you do believe, interesting, you do believe in a higher power, okay, and that affects how you come to the table because you know that what you do for your career, first off, you're really good at it. You might even work from home 7 days a week, but I don't know. But what I do know is you're real committed to it, okay? But at the same time, you don't let your career get in between your real soul purpose, which is connecting with your spirit. It's interesting the way that wants to make itself known. So I even see unfolding for you some kind of spiritual aspect to your career, that at some point you incorporate that into either into what you're already doing, or you make a switch in that to something more spiritually based. Somehow there's this incorporation of spirit in it. And there's this thing about your beliefs is not exactly run-of-the-mill stuff. Okay, clearly you're into astrology and tarot enough to purchase this reading, but like you don't fall into, like people can't just be like, well, you know, you gotta repent for your sins, say a prayer. Just say a prayer. Okay. There's something more, like, that's not enough. That's not enough. Like, it may be true. Yeah, you're like, you could totally say a prayer and fix your energy, but that's too surface. You're looking deeper. Thank you. You're looking deeper. Okay. And in your career, how does that come into play? Because it helps you solidify your position. Hold on. It helps you solidify your position because you look deeper. You persist in looking deeper. You don't stop where everybody else stopped. You're going deeper into it. Okay. With expertise. And again, there's this energy about, like, let's say you do stocks, right? And if you do stocks, you use spirit to guide you somehow in how you invest. If you, it's just like sitting there doing nails, in my case. Spirit cuts in and let me know, oh, they really love this. Oh, they don't like that color after all. Oh, that shape is too different. They wanted to try it, but that's not working. Like little things, like spirit guide you. Okay, ooh, try this design. They're going to love this. Whatever it is, in some type of way, the way you speak to what is your customers? How does that portray itself in your career? You're doing it a little bit differently because you bring your spirit game to the process. And this gives you an advantage. Would you agree with that? Does that sound like it makes sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I bet it resonates.
Okay.
Deeply.
All right, good. All right. Well, in that case, let's go into Aries. And in Aries, we had Saturn in Aries at 13 degrees. And when we were talking before we went live for your session right now, we were talking about how Saturn in Aries is like challenges about taking action, like major rewards from difficulties in life and like having to step up and take action. Okay, and so this is showing up in your 11th house, which is like your social circle, to where it's like what you do for humanity type of stuff. Okay, with your circle, with the people who are even your extended circle, not even just your immediate circle, but even your extended circle. And the card that you have coming out is Virtue. Virtue is a quality of doing what's right. I hear even when nobody's watching is the way they want to say it for you. Doing what's right, it's very closely mingled with integrity, virtue. Okay. 10 of Cups coming out. Hermit coming out. Where was Virgo at in your chart? You resonate real deeply with that. Yeah, you very careful about your connections. Okay. Queen of Swords in reverse. And the Two of Swords. Oh, and you ain't got no business. No problem trying to, hold on. You ain't got no business messing around with somebody who you need to cut off. And you when you cut them off, like, it is a thorough and complete cut off. That's one thing. You will protect. I feel like you have a very protective energy about people that you're close to. Do you sometimes feel like you be a little bit too worried about the people you care about? Like, okay, I'm doing too much. I need to slow down.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because that's kind of coming up here. So it's talking about, just like you have boundaries, you gotta make sure that you respect everybody else's boundaries and you honor it. And if you tell them, that I'm not going to meddle in this or that or the other, I'm gonna let you handle that, then fucking let them handle it, whatever it is. It's kind of the way it's coming through. But it's also saying, like, you have to make sure you take care of your own boundaries and limitations too, because it seems like sometimes, do you ever feel like you let people take advantage of you, like you haven't had strong boundaries in that past, and people see that in you and had taken advantage of you?
Yeah.
Because it's saying here that, part of this for you right now is about taking a different approach there. you know you want to. I hear you know you want to do things differently. And it's literally about learning how to say no and stand your ground, where you have the opportunity to cave, to buckle, is the way I'm hearing, to buckle, to cave in, to bow down, to lay down and get down, you know what I'm saying? Or to stand up for yourself and be like, no, I'm not doing this. Yeah, and I get an energy like it's so subtle. It's so subtle because it's all very harmless. I don't feel like there's a lot of like deep treachery and backstabbing going on. I don't see that, but it does feel like in little ways. So my bro said something that completely like made so much sense when he said it. And what he said was, man, they betray themselves all at once. A whole relationship, they'll throw it away, you know, in one moment and just be done with it. But ladies, they betray themselves a little bit at a time before it adds up. So, you know, you don't usually do this. Now you're going to do this to make them happy. You forgive this, you forgive that, you forgive the other. And little by little, a woman tends to betray herself. So there's something here about not allowing that to happen, where you're not betraying yourself little by little no more. You start to catch the pattern up front, okay? And it's like a golden rule energy. If they treat you well, you entertain. And I feel like at this point, from having been where you have been and letting people violate, cross boundaries, and violate standards and value and worthiness, is that that stuff don't play no more at all. It's the first little hint that it's not that, the boundaries come down. And the way I see the boundaries come down, it looks like in all those medieval movies, and at the moat, then there's the drawbridge at the end of the moat, right when they're at the castle wall, and they drop the drawbridge and it just slams shut. That's what I just saw. So do that make sense? Okay. Who plays Dungeons and Dragons? Do you know somebody that plays Dungeons and Dragons? Or role-playing games? Especially somebody who's in spirit that play role-playing games? This would have to be somebody that passed within the last 5 years? A younger person? Is there somebody you know of that you can think of that you have a connection to? There is?
I think my nephew.
Okay.
He was just born.
Oh no, he didn't play role-playing games. I'm picking up on a teenager energy, and it feels like a masculine energy. It doesn't feel familiar. It feels more like a kid from school or a neighborhood kid. I don't know, something like that. It's somebody you know, but it doesn't feel like family.
I can pick up on it. What about you?
What I'm getting is there's something about you and your boundaries taught somebody a real hard lesson. I'm getting taught somebody a real hard lesson. But they're very grateful for you, I heard, because you're the only one that ever taught it to them. So I don't know who this is or what that's all about. But that just butt in. And it doesn't feel like somebody who you were super close to, but it is somebody who you know by name. Is it a Charles or a Charlie or something with a C? Okay, listen, this is supposed to be a birth chart reading, sir.
Okay.
Cutting into this reading. What was that all about? I don't know any Charles personally, or Charlie, or I can't think of nobody with a C either, so I don't know. That's around you. I feel like it's somebody in your neighborhood, wherever you grew up at, around. I feel like this is a schoolmate or something. We ain't here for all that. Okay. It's coming through though, so I just gotta say what comes up. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. I'm like, hold on, let me breathe deep again. Alright. So, 12th house. Of course, this will come up on the verge of 12th house energy, which is where you have Taurus in your birth chart. Undoings, huh?
I said, you're right. I said, sending them loves. Whatever it is.
Right. Undoings, healings, closing things up, spirituality, being on your own, karmic cycles, aging, and subconscious energies, ideas that need to be let go of to move on, and we have reprisal, counterattack. Do you ever feel like getting even?
Yes.
Watch out for that. King of Wands, Three of Pentacles in reverse, the Sun, and then Ace of Wands in reverse. Okay. Watch out for wanting to give even, because it's putting yourself in a position where you would do harm to self. What do you mean, Melinda? I'm not talking about doing harm to myself. Well, energetically it is, because we are one. Quite simply, we are one. That sounds mind-blowing. It sounds a lot far-fetched. But taking things out on the other in a revenge, it is very divisive to the self. There's something here about it working against you, because wanting to take revenge is going to have you in a malicious type of an energy. Instead, it's like you have to understand the way the laws work here. The energy they put out comes back to them. You really don't have to do shit to them. Mm-hmm. So watch out for those thoughts of revenge. It looks like you've done good at avoiding that. This Ace of Wands was in reverse next to the Sun. It's like you're aware that, yes, I have this way of thinking, but you know what? I never put sugar down that bitch's gas tank. I thought about pouring a Coca-Cola in her gas tank several times. I thought about putting a fucking dead fish in her shop, but I never did that. You know? The thought crossed your mind. Don't beat yourself up because you have the thought, but it's another thing to fully carry that out. And when you hold yourself back from that because you have a greater understanding, like it really don't serve you well, and all that shit is coming back to you, multiplied, times 10 minimum. And so you know better than to go out there and do shit against somebody else. They might be trying to work against you, but what you are going to do is you're going to put your cover of protection on yourself. Blessed, safe, and protected no matter where I stand in my skin. So it's everything that I own, everything that came from me, and everything that I created. That's the protection spell right there. If you've been looking for one, that's the protection spell right there. To protect yourself. Instead of going out and seeking to... And I don't see you doing that. I don't see you doing that. I feel like when I asked you that question, do you be thinking about taking revenge? Well, fuck, we all do. We all do sometimes. It's a very normal thing for a human to do on planet Earth, because shit happens and you be like, ugh. It's a human thought, but there's also a human thought to understand how this energy works, and once you bring that into your human thought, then you start thinking about how you want a human and how you want a he-man and she-man and do all this stuff out here in these streets, because all that energy comes back to you. And if we are one and God is in all things and all things are created from the same energy, then we're all the same damn thing. And so it's just like cutting off your nose to spite your face. It's nowhere. It's about acceptance, forgiveness, integration, and sometimes acceptance and forgiveness means like, okay, strong boundaries for you. You don't get to see me or talk to me no more. Sometimes that's what it looks like. I feel like also another energy I'm seeing here in your 12th house, this is about like having to stand your ground when a lot of people don't believe in what you're talking about in regards to spiritual matters. And then sitting there and watching the stuff unfold just like you knew it would, or just like you said, or just like you spoke. Again, you have a very powerful energy to bless others. And whether you keep yourself in a positive or low vibration mentality about things, because I feel like overall you're always looking at trying to be a loving person. You like being a good person. You like being kind and happy and peaceful and all that shit. There's some individuals that like to create chaos. You don't come along in the energy that way. You come along with somebody who like to leave the room with peace and, be happy and kind and all that stuff around folks. You may not be the most outgoing and outspoken person, but you definitely like the calm and peace. And so I see that in this energy, a lot of your challenges come through you and how far you take that, okay, and where are your limits if they don't accept that, and your feelings of worthiness about whether or not they do, okay, and also being that same for you, being your own peace and calm, okay, and believing in yourself to move forward to your goals, because you got big things coming up in your experience. You definitely are in designs to overcome a lot, to have a lot of victories in this. And your intuition is something that I see the more you spend in developing it and confirming it with physical evidence. It's like almost like playing games with your intuition, talking, communicating, using the meditation. But it's not even so much meditation when it comes through. It's like a lot more proactive, a lot more integrated into your everyday comings and goings, into your everyday navigational system, just like you would put addresses on a GPS if you drove a pizza delivery car. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Hoo-wee. Alright, so they want me to pull you a Sacred Traveler Oracle card, and they want you to think about if you have any final question, a yes or no question, or anything else that you want to know before we go while I pull this card for you. So it feels like, we got through the whole birth chart, and it feels like this reading is complete. So let's see. Ooh, look what come out for you. Oh God, it says Mystic Healer. Healing energy flows through you. Yes. Mystic Healer. See, there's that thing about you that's just different. And you could choose this same healing energy and channel it into creating chaos and disruption and pain and misery if you chose. But it wouldn't be as potent and it wouldn't be as beautiful as it is because you choose to use it in a love-based way. Taking shelter. The answers are within us at the bottom of the deck. And we did talk a lot about trusting in your own guidance. Okay, trusting in your intuition and your spirit to guide you and lead you, and knowing that you're protected. And we didn't just talk about that today, but we talked about that in other sessions that we did together. So it's like in your birth chart reading, the main thing they want you to focus on is how you healed yourself. We talked about during this reading here about how you changed a lot of karmic family cycles in your ancestry line. And because you did that, so that makes it more likely, even possible, for others to attain that for themselves as well. All right, so do you have any final questions that I can answer for you, or do you want to do a yes or no, or what you want to do for the last pull?
A question.
Okay.
What do I need to release?
Ooh, that's a good question. What do you need to release?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting to pull the Kabbalistic Tree of Life Oracle. This is because they like the assortment of words in there for you. So let's see, what do you need to release? Woo! Wee! It said the servant.
Ooh.
The servant.
Okay.
The bottom of the deck is the tempter. You're the tempter. They're supposed to be serving you. Not you supposed to be serving them. Ooh, you are the treasure. They're supposed to be serving you, not you supposed to be serving them. Interesting. And I feel like this is around a lot. It's not just about a specific someone. This is about experiences. It's okay to serve them, but honestly, they're tempted to you because of what you got already, your position, who you are, how you do, whatever. And, they're here to serve you. Allow them to be a service. And I'm even getting with this card, they want you to call on the angels. Are you already in the habit of calling on the angels? Because they want you to call on the angels.
Okay. I'm calling on them.
What do you need to release? The need to always be of service. And they're even giving me the energy of this for that. They're showing me again the P&Q and grandma and the skip bow. It's like you always trying to make sure everything is fair on both sides of the table. Just play your own fucking hand. I heard just play your own fucking hand. Quentin trying to always play everybody else's hand. You cheated. You did this. You did that. Boy, play your own hand. Cheaters never win in the end anyways. The servant. There's something here about go ahead and play your own hand. Let them serve you up. Don't tell them if they messing up, it ain't always your job to tell them. For some reason, I'm getting that. It's not always your job to tell them. Unless they asking, just mind your business and keep it going. Ooh, wee. That's kind of cold. That is kind of cold. But that's what I'm getting.
I need to know that.
You needed to know that?
Yeah.
Does that feel like it's kind of cold to you? Is that why I'm like, that's kind of cold?
Yeah, I mean, my Venus and Capricorn. I can take you.
Yeah. All right, love. Well, I want to thank you for choosing me to do your birth chart reading, and the fact that you did it recorded like this. You'll always have this to listen back to whenever you want. It'll be there. So I'm going to go ahead and end our video. So you'll always have that here.